just kind of get tired listening to you talk about it, Colin. I just first of all want to send out a quick congrats to Ellie Blankenship Regan and Kim Kester Tierney, who were inducted into the Hall of Fame this past weekend. We were bummed we couldn't be there, but couldn't have two more deserving and special Panthers. Heard a lot of great compliments about their acceptance speeches and how much it meant to them to be a Panther. And I think the cool thing is everything that they did while they were here, they continue to do today in their lives. So just very proud of them and wanted to congratulate them. We had a busy weekend, a little bit different than last week in terms of having two Friday matches, presented a little bit different of a practice week for us, but I thought our kids had a very productive week of practice, which was good. We had UNO on Friday afternoon, and UNO has been plagued with a lot of injuries, and I just felt like they were a team that continued to fight, even though I think they're missing three of their starters on the season. And I think with that match, we came out and we won 25-8 the first set, and we definitely saw a different UNO team than we had seen on video. And as coaches, we know that. But they came back, and we won a very tight second set. And I think the biggest, positive out of that match in my mind is we found that we're capable of being down by a significant amount and coming back. We were down, I think it was 21-24. Kayla Hainline goes back to serve, and for those of you that have followed us, when Kayla's serving, first of all, that means that our libero's not in. So you're going to have to play defense without your libero in, and we were able to do that for 7 straight points. Kayla serving 7 really good balls in a row is a big deal for us as well, and she wouldn't care that I said that, so that was probably the highlight of that match for us. So proud of that effort and the comeback. We had UMKC that night, and one of the things I liked about this weekend was that we were playing 3 very different teams. So UMKC brought a lot of really quick attacks behind the setter, which we had a lot of trouble with, to be honest. It was a big challenge for us. They mixed it up where along the net behind the setter they were setting. It was a very fast tempo, and the hard part for us is that we have a lot of trouble replicating that in practice, so a lot of that is just game time adjustment, and we had trouble with our feet, we had trouble with our press, and really I don't even think caught on to that by the end of the match, but we were able to survive in other areas of our game to be able to win that match in 4. So very proud of our offense. We talked about side out percentage last week. We were able to hit all our side out percentages. We hit 273 as a team, so a very nice night for us offensively, which is good to see. We headed to Kansas and going up against the number 4 team in the country, and I've had a lot of compliments about our team, and you're right there with the number 4 team in the country. We lost 2 sets by 2, but I can tell you that doesn't satisfy us. We were not happy with that match because I think we had some missed opportunities, and when you win 1 set, you never know what can happen. So as a team, yes, we were right in there with the number 4 team, but we really feel like we missed a couple opportunities, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Set 1 was tight. We lost by 2 points. The next set was very interesting for us. It was the first time we've been involved in the challenge review system, and we have found out that we don't handle that very well, or did not handle that very well. We were 11-11 with KU in the second set, and they went on a 9-1 point run. And within that time frame, there was 3 challenges. And I think the hard part for us is those challenges take time. So you're sitting there basically doing nothing, waiting for that. We were on the losing end of all 3 challenges, which presents another factor in there, and we just have to find ways to better handle that because we'll have other matches where that's involved. It is definitely not an excuse. We just have to work harder at being able to maintain our focus and execute what we're doing after those types of things. So a new thing for us, and then in set 3 it was just a really good set, back and forth, a lot of good things being done, and we were just not able to hold on and finish it out, and lost again by 2 points. I think some of the things that you look at, if you look at the stat sheet, there was one kid really that killed us. So on the positive side, we did a nice job defensively on most of their team, but pretty disappointed with how Payne is her name, how we let her just basically do whatever she wanted in my mind. She had 25 kills in 3 sets. She hit almost 500. and she was a focus for our team. So she was different than anybody we played because she is a kid that hits anywhere, any tempo, and we just had a lot of trouble with her in communicating where she was and being able to get the blocking assignments that we needed. So because of that, it also caused a lot of confusion in our backcourt when she was attacking. So that's something that we need to really focus on and being able to handle, is not letting one kid like that basically take over. And she's going to take over in terms of she's going to get her kills, but we have to be able to slow a kid like that down a little bit more than we were able to that night. I thought it's interesting, our passing by numbers was probably the lowest passing percentages we have had all year, so we were a little bit disappointed in our passing, but they're a very aggressive serving team, and their head coach told me after that we were the best passing team that they've come up against, which was really interesting because that was an area we felt we needed to be better at. And then the other area, serving, I've talked about up here many times. That's going to be a strength for us, and it really wasn't against KU. We missed a couple early serves, and unfortunately, I felt that made us tentative the rest of the night, and we were really not serving them out of system. So basically, they had 3 options every time they were passing the ball. So a couple areas that normally we do well in, we struggled a little bit against KU, and again, part of it's what they do. Really a lot of good performances. I would like to point out Amy Held. She had a great weekend for us. Bree was out for the weekend, and obviously I've talked a lot about Bree and what she brings to our team, and Amy Held just really stepped up. She had 3 double-doubles, so all 3 matches she really performed well. She's not that kid that's supposed to be bringing a ton for us offensively. That's not why we have her out there, but she was able to do that on the weekend for us, so very proud of her and what she was able to do. Carly Taylor, a true freshman, stepped up and came in and did some really nice things for us offensively, had some great attacks on the weekend, so very proud of her effort as well. As Colin said, we turn around and have a very quick turnaround for a very, very busy week, and the more I think about it, the more I know how challenging it's going to be. We basically will not practice anything new this week, but being able to keep our kids fresh. First home match of the year is always a big deal. I know part of our job as coaches is to kind of contain our kids. They just get so excited about having the opportunity to finally be at home. And then we have that first match against Iowa State. I think that brings a whole nother realm of emotions into the match as well. So that will be part of what we need to do. They're a very good team, getting votes for the top 25. Big physical team that always is good ball control and defense, but I think they've just improved so much over the years offensively. Jess Shaban is leading the way, over 4 kills a game, but I think what makes them even more dangerous is everyone else is equal, 2.5 to 3 kills a game, and any one of those kids can take over a match. It just kind of depends on what's happening, who's stepping up for them that night. They have people on the bench that have come in and taken over matches, so a very balanced attack with also probably one of the best attackers on the outside in the country. So a very challenging team. We're looking forward to that match, though, as always. And then the weekend, not only is it 4 matches, which is huge, but we have the start of our conference as well. So that Friday night match becomes extremely important for us. You know, we're on Iowa State right now, today and tomorrow, obviously, and then all of our focus will be on that Friday match. And then we have 3 matches to prepare for after that. That's how we're kind of looking at this weekend. So that presents a little bit of challenges for us as coaches. And obviously, we've talked about with our team, we don't really talk about individual teams until that day, but we will be doing a little bit in practice for some of those teams that we see on the weekend. But Illinois State was a team that we tied with last year in 4th. They lost 1 kid off of last year's team, so a very good Illinois State team that has completely beefed up their schedule. They were playing UCLA, Loyola Marymount, who are 2 top 25 teams. They just knocked off Utah this weekend, so we'll have a great opportunity after the Iowa State match to get some film and see if they're doing anything different from last year. So busy week, but like Colin said, dollar tickets, we're trying to bust that attendance record. So would love to see a huge crowd. They just played, Iowa State just played at Iowa State. I don't know what the number was, but they had a huge crowd there, record-breaking crowd there. So we'd like to return the favor and do that same thing here tomorrow night. Any questions?
I know the backcourt kind of depends on whether Bree's available, but what do you think about how good the play has been there with or without her, and having people like Ashley, Delaney, and Abby that can come in and play different roles off the bench?
Yeah, that's really saved us, actually, being able to have multiple people, different nights step up. We've used many people in the backcourt, but I think the neatest part about that is it's not just in the same position. They're going in and playing different positions in the backcourt. We feel very comfortable with that. Obviously, Bree brings a lot of different dimensions, just not the defensive side. She's probably one of the best passers on our team, so that part of it is there too. And I think the other kids, each one of them have different things that they have strengths in, so I think it depends on the night what we need more. Do we need more from the defensive side? Do we need more passing? Even the serve. We have a couple kids that serve better than others, so depending on what we need for that night will depend on how much playing time some of those kids get.
What's the status of Bree Weber?
She